All right. In this video, we're going to talk about side hustles, to side hustle or not to side hustle. Now, I swear side hustles are like media just loves them. They're so clickbaity. They're everywhere. Articles about 5 side hustles you can start today, on and on and on and on. I mean, they're very sexy right now, right? The problem that I most frequently encounter is that instead of helping us get ahead, side hustles actually are a big distraction and actually end up holding us back. And so I'm going to talk about these a little bit today, and I just want to help you make sure that you have the right perspective as you're approaching it, and that you know you're being intentional about this concept. Okay? So when I think about a side hustle, there are a couple purposes that it could bring, right? Number one, it could bring income. So if you just, let's say you have lower income and you just need more income so that you can meet living expenses, right? Or if you need more income so you can actually like start saving towards building wealth, you actually just need income. That is one thing. If you're looking to start something and grow something, like if you want to create an asset, not any side hustle will do. So the first thing is when we're talking about money and earning money, a core principle here is that you are providing value, and whatever you receive in compensation is commensurate with the value that you are providing to whoever, whether that's a business that you work for or whether you work for yourself and you're providing value to clients. Whatever value you are providing, you get a proportionate compensation for it. Now, some of you might think, well, I think I'm worth more than I'm getting paid right now. That could be the case. But the value you're providing to that specific organization, they've decided what that compensation is, and you've accepted it. And so it's commensurate value for compensation. Okay. So, really, if we want to increase our income, then we need to increase the value we are providing. Sometimes side hustles distract from us creating actual value, right? Something that can just be on the side that we can go do Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or whatever. Yeah, maybe that can bring in a little bit of income, but is that actually increasing the value that you are able to provide to somebody in exchange for higher compensation? Probably not. It's probably not giving you any additional skills that are improving your value. It's just giving you a way to earn some extra cash, which is totally fine, but just understand what it is, right? Sometimes we need that and you should go for it, right? If you need more income, then get the income, right? But if we're thinking long term, we need to be improving our value, increasing how valuable our skill set is. So that might entail additional education, right? It could entail experimentation on our own. It might mean that we renegotiate our current value and compensation with our current employer, right? Right now, with the great resignation is what they're calling it. And it is an employee market right now, meaning employees have a lot of leverage over their companies because there are so many potential opportunities that employers are having trouble keeping people. They're having a hard time retaining people. So if you can show your value, what you do for that company that's valuable, you have the ability to leverage that into higher compensation. It's a bargaining chip, right? And you can leverage it into getting compensated fairly, commensurately with the value you're providing. If not, you can go seek out a role where your skill set can come in and it is more valuable to that person, right? You could go from $60,000 of income a year. I actually had this conversation with a client. Okay, they're earning roughly, I want to say $70,000 to $75,000 a year. Okay, in their current role, and with a little bonus. Okay, so I think it was 70 with a little bonus. They thought about getting another job, so they found another position, a position that might actually advance their skill set as well, and the compensation was significantly higher. Right? It was like 95,000. Okay, that's significant. Almost a 50% increase, right? It's like a 40% increase. So plus bonus on top of that. And so he said, okay, well, should I do that or should I stay? His current company was restructuring compensation. So he took that offer as a bargaining chip and he said, hey, look, here's what's going on. He was transparent. I'm going to come over here, do this. I'm doing similar skill sets, but I'm also expanding into a larger role. This is what they're going to pay me. What can you do? If you want to keep me, I'm happy to stay. I like the company. What can you do? And they matched the offer. They increased his salary by a ton, right? Tens of thousands of dollars, plus giving him some equity and other forms of bonus compensation. And so he ended up staying with the company, right? Because they started valuing what he had. So all these little bargaining chips, you have the ability to make it happen. Okay. If it's not happening within your company, look outside, find another opportunity, find a place that is going to improve your skill set. Okay. This is first priority. If you want to increase your income, increase your value, increase the value you provide economically to somebody else. Okay. So that is the first thing. Now, if you just want extra money, this is my preference. If you just need extra money, I would go this route first, but you might need to do side hustle on the side just to bring in income. If that's what you need to do, then make it happen. Just don't forget about increasing your value. All right. Now, if you want to build an asset, then earning money on the side, you could take that money on the side and you could go invest it in the stock market, take the extra money on the side and go start investing in real estate, or take the money on the side and start investing in a business. Okay. So if you need the cash, it's okay to have the side hustle. But if you're just looking for an opportunity, then don't just pick up any old side hustle. You need to focus on creating an asset. Focus your time on creating an asset. It might not create revenue immediately, but you will be creating a long-term asset. We need to think long-term here. We can't be so short-sighted. So many times we're very, very short-sighted in our decisions. Take the long view and start experimenting with side hustles that actually build assets, okay? Don't let this distract from your main focus, the main value you provide, because you might be able to, take that time and put it into your main skill set and double your income, triple your income. Okay. And then all that time you spent on your side hustle to earn an extra $100 a month in passive income. It's like, okay, well, I guess you can do that. Or you can earn $30,000 more over here by just leveraging your skills. So, but if you want to, starting a business on the side is so doable now. It's ridiculous how easy it can be to start a business on the side with very little time commitment, meaning you can still work your full-time job. You can sort out the product market fit. You can sort out all the little obstacles of what problem am I solving? Who am I solving it for? And are they willing to pay me X number of dollars to solve it for them? You can work through all those kinks while not leaving the stability of your job. That is totally a viable way to go and very easily done. Low time commitment, low capital commitment, and you can actually be creating an asset. Okay. That is what you want to create. Whether that asset is something that you are later going to sell, or whether that asset is something that is going to be providing cash flow, it can be different, but you got to create the asset. Okay. So when you think about side hustling, think about it in terms of that. Don't get distracted. If you need extra cash, and that's like you absolutely need extra cash, that's fine. But focus on improving and increasing value you provide. Leverage your value into increased income with your current company, increasing your income outside, right? Getting other offers from other employers, as there are so many right now. It's not always the case, right? Sometimes the labor market is tight and it's hard to find a new opportunity. Right now, it's not that way. It could change. So get going while the going's good, or leverage that skill set into starting a business on the side where you're able to leverage it, right? So if you have one quick example, if you have an expertise, let's say you work in project management. Okay. So you're a project manager for your company. Okay. That's what you do. Maybe you have a team below you and you manage projects that way. You have to lead and organize and delegate and all those things, right? There are a lot of project managers out there that want to get better at what they do so they can improve their value. And if you're further ahead in that process and have more experience than they do, then you have something valuable. So you're working your day job as a project manager, and then you come home and you build a little side business around project management. Maybe it's consulting. It's like one of the easiest ways to start a business is by just consulting. You literally have zero startup costs. There's nothing. You don't even need a website. You don't need a cool email address. Nothing. You don't need to market. Nothing. It's just all about connections, and you find the right people and you consult. So you can consult businesses and tell them how to restructure their projects so that they're more efficient and get done and cut timelines and cut costs and all that stuff, right? Whatever you're expert at. Okay. I'm just pulling this out of the hat right now. All right. So you could consult, you could teach other project managers everything that you know and help them leapfrog and make massive leaps of progress in their career without having to go through all of it on their own, right? They can learn from you, implement it, and become instantly more valuable. And you could do that one-on-one, and then you could also do it through a course. You could do it through a newsletter that you sell. Okay, you could do it through a YouTube channel, right? Or TikTok, where you put out content about this and you gain a following, right? So you're using your skill set, and now you're just leveraging it over here in a different way to start driving income. Okay, that's just one really simple example. And I've seen all of those work, by the way. They all work. So that is my little conversation about side hustles. We're going to keep moving on and keep talking about starting a business in the coming videos. All right, see you soon.
Remember, we grow our income by growing ourselves.